Los Angeles, a place where your yard is someone else's campground. 911 calls are answered slower than airline customer service, and the governor looks like a diehard villain.
Gavin Newsom and Karen Bass have already proven their incompetence and poor leadership during the Los Angeles wildfires. Now, as we experience rampant lawlessness and civil unrest, it's never been more clear California's in a state of turmoil. And I ask my fellow Angelenos, why are Gavin Newsom and Karen Bass...
When Greg Gutfeld's razor wit collides with Mel Gibson's unfiltered fire, you don't get a debate, you get a political bloodbath. It's half Hollywood blockbuster, half late-night obliteration, with Gavin Newsom stuck dead center in the crosshairs. His polished speeches, photogenic hair, and Instagram-ready grins. Worthless against the barrage of sharp humor and brutal truth. This wasn't just a roast, it was a cinematic demolition, ripping the glossy PR veneer off a leader who's officially run out of places to hide.
Why do I keep bringing up Gavin? Well, other than my respect for his work in American Psycho, he's starting to distance himself from his party's worst ideas. Newsom, a guy who hates fossil fuels but could still bring down the price of gas by wringing out his hair, once proclaimed that his state would be a sanctuary to all who...
How much more of their destructive decision-making masquerading as leadership are we going to tolerate? It's time to take back our community and our state and put the power and the privilege in the hands of competent leaders whose goals are to protect us and the way of life this nation was founded upon and promises to offer.
Before we go further, smash that like button and subscribe, because you don't want to miss this one. Gavin Newsom has polished his public image so obsessively, you'd think he's auditioning to play himself in a Netflix docuseries called How to Fail in Style. He's basically a walking campaign poster, smooth hair, perfect teeth, smug grin, the political version of a Ken doll, designed by a committee that wanted all the style of a leader but none of the actual results.
I can make all kinds of horrible theories up in my head, conspiracy theories and everything else, but it just seemed a little convenient that there was no water and and that the wind conditions were right and that there are people ready and willing and able to start fires. And are they commissioned to do so, or are they just acting on their own volition? I don't know. But they seem pretty well equipped, some of these people that they're catching.
A lot of questions. A lot of questions, Mel. Mel, a message tonight.
You know, I'll sift through the remains of my place and see if I can find any clues for you.
Greg Gutfeld and Mel Gibson don't just see through the act, they run it through a wood chipper and hang what's left on the wall as a warning sign. Peel back the designer suits and sanctimonious presses, and you don't find a visionary. You find a political influencer with the consistency of a weather vane in a hurricane.
Always, when a far-left Dem runs for national office, he acts like a Republican. This is where the left is really pro-trans. Suddenly, they grow balls.
Greg Gutfeld slices in with the precision of a comic who's seen this routine 100 times and still finds new ways to tear it apart. He notes that Newsom's California isn't the Golden State anymore. It's a clearance rack at a going-out-of-business sale. Every festering problem is still festering. Every promise to fix it, still floating in the air like LA smog. Homelessness, up. Crime, up. Taxes, way up.
More of their destructive decision-making masquerading as leadership are we going to tolerate?
He's absolutely correct.
I loved every moment of that, and I need to do that now too. I want to be on your show, but with my arms crossed and very, very serious. I wonder where he filmed that, because he wasn't in his own house, because his house burned down. This is personal with Mel, and it should be personal to everybody in Los Angeles.
The only thing going down is the number of people who can afford to live there without selling a kidney. Gutfeld paints a vivid picture. A state that should be thriving reduced to a bloated political experiment where common sense goes to die. Then Gibson storms in, not with subtlety, but with the energy of a man who's fought Hollywood hypocrisy and his own demons. He skewers Newsom's self-appointed savior act while California turns into a cautionary tale. Tent cities, fleeing businesses, and regulations so suffocating avocado toast might soon be taxed as a luxury item.
About anything? I think there's about 100 other reasons too.
Well, it's not his words when he speaks.
Yeah.
You have to watch him closely. And some genius decided not to film him any lower than the shoulder.
Yes, did you? Yes.
So what did he do?
You couldn't see the hands.
No, but he sent Morse code.
Yes.
Go back and watch it. Look at the blinking. Blink, look. Meet me at the house. Like, he's blinking. He's sending. I'm getting there. Hey, just so you know, I'm not wearing pants.
Gibson gets theatrical, casting Newsom as the guy who stands on a burning ship insisting it's fine because the flames look great on camera. He mocks the governor's climate crusader image while presiding over an energy grid that collapses during a heat wave. In one of the most advanced places on Earth, rolling blackouts have become a plot twist worthy of the worst Hollywood script.
Like to be on Rogan's podcast when I guess you learned that your home had been lost.
Well, I didn't learn it was lost. I knew the neighborhood was on fire, then I was in the path, so I was a little tense while I talked to Joe, but he's a guy that can put you at your ease fairly well, so I was doing okay. And I knew that my family was safe and out of harm's way.
Were you able to get possessions that, of course, are really immaterial when you have your family, but I've been to your house. It was an incredible home, beautiful home. But were you able to get anything out of your house?
Not much. A few necessary things. You know, my son I said, just go and grab this and this and this. And he grabbed like 3 things and took off. And then, you know, those are.
And this isn't incompetence, it's willful blindness. The kind where cities drown in crime, but you declare victory because you held a press conference. Halfway through, the roast has become a demolition derby of hypocrisy. Newsom's infamous maskless fine dining scandal becomes the punchline of the night. Gutfeld calls out the gall it takes to preach sacrifice while living like the rules are for everyone else.
Gavin ponders why Dems lost.
We lost. We lost the popular vote, and we lost the electoral vote. We got.
Kennedy, I think the answer is yes. Was
it because of Israel? Yes. Interest rates? Yes. Too woke? Yes. It's like every bad policy that trickled up to the White House during the Biden administration started in California. That state is responsible for the worst politicians in modern history. And he is at the top of the list, and there are some ignoramuses on that list.
They don't spare the economy either. Gutfeld roasts California's taxes as ransom payments just for the privilege of driving on pothole-riddled streets. Gibson adds that the state's regulatory maze is so bad you probably need a permit to complain about permits. Innovation isn't just stalled, it's packing its bags for Texas. And Newsom's green energy talk. Hilarious in a state that can't keep the lights on.
You know, I do think he's given a lot more credibility because his son is a firefighter out there. His son is fighting these fires, so he does have some inside information and some intel. But, you know, I do believe that the majority of people believe that this is on the government. According to Fox News, Gavin Newsom cut funding for wildlife and forest resilience by more than $1 million just months before these wildfires. Mayor Karen Bass initially tried to cut from the LA Fire Department's budget $23 million in 2024, but settled for $17.6 million in cuts.
Gibson delivers the Hollywood-style kill shot. If California under Newsom were a movie, it'd be a box office bomb. Gorgeous cinematography, zero plot. And just when they've roasted every angle, they circle back to his presidential aspirations. Gutfeld warns that exporting California's problems nationwide would be like franchising a failing restaurant.
Criminal telling a jury he's sorry he robbed 25 banks when he's just sorry he got caught on the 26th. Because this isn't some spontaneous crisis. It's a man-made disaster like Chernobyl or Fox and Friends.
Greg and Mel aren't buying the fairy tale. They see a governor who's more overpaid motivational speaker than leader. His speeches come with rolling blackouts, mass business departures, and a population fleeing like contestants on escape from Newsom's California. Perfect weather, vast resources, world-class economy, and somehow it still feels like the last, glitchy level of a badly coded video game.
Well, the same day that Mel Gibson says what he says there, and he's correct on so many things as far as the management of wildfires, Gavin Newsom's approval on the handling of the wildfires is only 30%.
Wow.
Gavin Newsom announced that he has a podcast that he's about to launch. when you have a finely tuned machine like California is right now, where you have the highest poverty rate in the country, highest taxes in the country, you have 10 cities that have their own zip codes, and you have fire hydrants and reservoirs that don't have water in it, this is justified. And Gavin Newsom, remember, just last year we were talking about, will he be the Democratic nominee? Then you ask Californians. 7 in 10 Californians right now say that Gavin Newsom should not run for president.
Gutfeld gleefully highlights Newsom's obsession with bans and restrictions. Plastic straws, gone. Gas-powered lawn mowers, banned. Single-use plastics, forbidden. But homelessness and crime, skyrocketing. Taxes, among the highest in the country. It's governance where appearances matter more than outcomes, and PR campaigns replace results.
His hands in motion and his hair full of lotion. True, Gavin's views may be idiotic, but his hands moves, well, they're hypnotic. California Governor Newsom's new podcast is out. It's available wherever fine hair care products are sold. And we couldn't help but notice an unintended delight, his unique hand.
Mel doubles down on the Hollywood parallels. Newsom's career is a beautifully shot film with a terrible script. Housing crisis. Blamed on everything except his own policies. Public schools. Ignored for flashy climate soundbites. It's a director's cut nobody asked for, but the audience is told to clap anyway.
In 2019, I think Newsom said, I'm going to take care of the forests and maintain the forests and do all that kind of stuff. He didn't do anything.
Didn't do anything. And then on top of that, they cut the water off.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's all funny. And then I think all our tax dollars probably went for Gavin's hair gel. I don't know, but it's like, it's sad. It's like the place is just on fire.
Well, the whole state is just so...
Businesses closed, kids kept out of school, residents locked down, while Newsom enjoyed exclusive dinners without a mask. It was rules for thee, not for me at its finest. Mel calls it elite arrogance wrapped in political theater. Newsom wasn't governing, he was auditioning.
What exactly is he trying to say here, huh? Is it a mysterious form of sign language for morons? Is he conveying some secret code to terrorists? Is he signaling the Los Angeles Angels to steal third base? But I'm willing to bet that former Californians recognize those hand signals. They're the motions you make to back up a U-Haul as you flee that failed state and head to Texas.
And still, he positions himself as the future of American politics. Greg and Mel see it for what it is, a cautionary tale packaged as a success story. The man's only true skill, managing his own PR.
There is absolutely no adequate excuse the governor or mayor can make for this gross mismanagement and failure to preemptively deal with what they knew was coming. Newsom, since he's been in, whatever you call it, office, has brought us nothing but rampant crime, acute homelessness, horrendous inflation. He's made it untenable for people to make a living.
California under Gavin Newsom became a live experiment in how far you can stretch the gap between presentation and reality before people stop clapping. Judging by the exodus and the eye rolls, that gap's at breaking point. Newsom isn't leading, he's workshopping punchlines in a burning theater. And the worst part? The next season will definitely be more ridiculous than the last.